All right, hey, what's up, y'all? So today I want to talk about getting the most out of Superhumans United. This is like tips, strategies, and best practices to make sure that you have an amazing experience when you're in here. All right, so when you first create your account and log in, the first thing that you want to do so that people can get to know you and get comfortable with you and familiar with you is to create your profile. And we want to add as much detail to this thing as we can. We want to add pictures. We want people to get a feel for who we are as a person and what it is that we're trying to accomplish and how we can contribute to this overall community. All right, so it's as simple as logging in and then following these simple steps. All right, what's up, y'all? So the first thing we're going to want to do is log in. You can do this from your phone or your PC. I'm going to show you from a PC. And once we are in the system, we're going to come up to our profile. We're going to click View Profile. And then anything that we edit in here is going to pull up the profile editor, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so here the first thing we want to do is type in a little bit something short about yourself. Now you'll notice this has 160 characters. So I want to make sure that my size of my text here is appropriate. Now if you need to, you can use something like a character counter, which basically you can Google character counter and pull up a million different versions, and here you can see I have my characters at 157. The max that I can have in that space is 160. Alright, then we're going to scroll down, put our location. This is useful because it helps people know where you're from. Spectrum is how long you've been with the SHT, so when you click in this box you'll have several different options. And then if you want to share your personal links, then you can do that. And then the introduction is going to be a little bit longer of a text field, so it gives you the ability to really get people to get a feel for who you are. So that's 600 characters. And so I took the time to really craft, to maximize this space, and we'd like you to do that as well. All right, you can go ahead and select any courses that you think you might want to be a part of, but I would probably wait for that. And then really important, just make sure that you provide a small picture, like a profile picture of your face or whatever is important to you, and then a background profile picture. All right, super simple and easy, but very important so that people can get to know you. All right, now the next thing that we can do to make sure that we have an amazing experience in here is check in most days. All right, now I know that we all have a million different apps and probably social media platforms that we're a part of. And if you're anything like us, you've probably kind of got numbed out and tired of all the different notifications and scrolling through, and this is not Facebook, okay? The reason that we put this together is because it's ours. We have no advertisements, we have no disruptions, we have no drama. This is only focused on our health foundations. And so it's completely worth your time to check in most days, all right? So I would make it a priority because there's nothing that's more important than your health, all right? So think about this as an investment in your health. It is worth your time to check in and scroll through and see what's going on and pay attention to the most recent events and the most recent posts and the most recent updates and questions and polls, and participate in those things if you feel led to do so. Now our next recommendation is to make a conscious decision to interact, all right? Especially when something stirs you. And when I say when something stirs you, you don't have to agree with anything or everything that is being posted in this community. But if you notice a post that excites you or that makes you smile or makes you happy or makes you curious or interested or stirs your emotions in a negative direction, whatever that is, take a moment and pause and do something about it. Like the post, comment on the post, ask a question that you have in your mind. And again, this is not Facebook or other social media platforms where you're used to scrolling through and you notice something that you otherwise might say or do something with, but because you're just so used to kind of scrolling through, you ignore that feeling. What we want you to do is actually have this intention to interact in most situations, right? You don't have to agree with it. And even if you don't agree with it, you can say something about how you truly feel about it. What's important here is the dialogue and the engagement with these different posts and recipes and questions and polls and things like that, right? This is what is going to get us communicating with each other and supporting each other. Now, our next recommendation is always participate in the questions and polls, because it does not take that much effort to participate, all right? A lot of times it's usually just typing a few words or answering a multiple choice question or sliding your cursor along a spectrum. All right, and that interaction again initiates some dialogue and interaction with other people in the community. All right, so I want to go over briefly each one of these different questions and polls and how to answer them. All right, now first of all, if you want to ask your own question and get some feedback, you can simply click on Share What's on Your Mind and then type your text and click on this pie graph here, and it will show up as a question. You also have the option to click on question and turn this into multiple choice, hot or cold post, or percentage question. All right, I can also do this by coming up to this blue plus sign and asking a question or a poll. Now the first type of question we might see is an actual question. All right, and when you post a question, it will show up as a big bold text, and then it also has this option, share your answer, which encourages other people to participate, and you simply click on this to share your answer, and then you type in your answer, and you can also share a picture, a video, a link to an external website, or an attachment. The next type of question we might see is multiple choice, pretty self-explanatory. We may have just a couple of choices, we may have up to 5 or 6, but simply click on the answer that resonates with you the most. This answer is anonymous, so it will not show what you actually voted for, but it will show what the group votes for as a whole. Now the next type of question we might see is a hot or cold or a positive negative poll. And in this question, hopefully it's clear which end is positive or hot or which end is negative or cold, and you're simply answering along this spectrum. This is also answered anonymously, so it doesn't show up under your name. It doesn't show you what your vote is, but it shows you what the group's votes are anonymously. And then the final question we might see is a percentage poll, which is basically asking to answer in the form of a percentage. So you would simply slide your cursor along this spectrum and answer wherever you feel appropriate, and this answer is also anonymous, but we do get to see group data. All right, awesome. Now our next recommendation is going to be to share on a regular basis. And what we mean by share is share your experiences, share your wins, share your learnings, share your difficulties. A lot of times I'll have clients or even members of the community that will message me some really good news about something that changed or shifted. Or they will message me and ask me a question. And I love to hear great things moving in a good direction for people. And I also have no problem answering questions, but these are all things that we can share in the community and get the support of other people with, all right? So share your experiences, share your wins, share your learning, share your difficulties and challenges, share your recipes, because we love to see you in your element doing what you're doing just as much as we love to see perfectly cropped and staged photos and videos, okay? So we want to see what's happening with you. We want to hear what's happening with you. And again, this is all with the intent and purpose to support each other and get some dialogue and conversation going. Now our final recommendation is, especially for those of us that are real foodies, which should be all of us, try a new recipe every week and then give some feedback on that recipe. All right, there's a ton of recipes in our recipes topic index, and we keep adding to that every single day, every single week. And so find a recipe that you haven't done before and make it in your own way, however you want to do it, and then comment and share your experience in making that recipe so that we can enhance the recipe and make it just a little bit better, and again, get some interaction and dialogue going.